The idea of a live-action Sonic the Hedgehog film has been entertained by various studios over the years, but it wouldn't be until 2019 that moviegoers would get their first taste of what a live-action movie centered around a blue anthropomorphic hedgehog would look like. And it wasn't good.
Meow?
Paramount Pictures' first trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog received a lot of backlash from fans and non-fans alike due to the rather unusual design choice for the film's titular hero. In a climate where studios like to piss off fans of established IPs, it came as a surprise when director Jeff Fowler took to Twitter to announce the film would be getting a delay to improve Sonic's design. Now that Sonic's gotten the makeover he deserves, does the film work? Of all the different Sonic adaptations out there, I'd say this film has the most in common with the 2003 anime Sonic X, as both involve Sonic finding his way to Earth following an incident on his home planet. But unlike Sonic X, Dr. Robotnik, Sonic's arch nemesis, never had a life on Sonic's world. And the anime, Sonic's world and Earth exist parallel to one another. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. What I'm trying to say is it works in this film's favor to not overcomplicate the narrative. So this version of Dr. Robotnik is from Earth. Another major difference from other forms of Sonic media is Sonic is able to freely travel between worlds using his iconic rings, but it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to compare them to giant rings, which in traditional Sonic games allowed Sonic to travel to various special stages. So no, this Sonic doesn't rely on rings for health, but he's actually really powerful on his own, which is why his biggest fear is being experimented on. When a world is no longer safe for him to live in, he teleports to a new one, and as a result, this version of the character is actually pretty lonely. What sets the plot in motion is when Sonic accidentally sends the entire Pacific Northwest into a blackout, which sends the United States government on high alert. To find the source of the mysterious blackout, the government enlists the help of the mad scientist himself, Dr. Robotnik. While noticeably different from other iterations of the character, Jim Carrey does a fantastic job at portraying what it'd be like to be in the presence of a crazy genius. You can tell he had fun in the role. The film kind of works as a light origin for this new iteration of the character, because he's not really seen as a villain quite yet, which is refreshingly different since the source material doesn't really give Robotnik a backstory. If there's a sequel, it'll be interesting to see where they go with the character next. And if you've seen the ending, you'll know what I'm talking about. Luckily for Sonic, our second main character, Officer Tom Wachowski, finds him before the big guys do. But unlucky for Sonic, it's also in this moment he accidentally teleports his rings to the top of the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco. After a visit from the doctor himself, Tom ends up helping Sonic in his mission to retrieve his lost rings. So while the film's journey is both short and predictable, it still proves to be a decent ride with a generous serving of franchise references, because would it really be a Sonic movie if he didn't at least eat one chili dog? However, the film doesn't end up diving too heavily into the Sonic lore, so don't expect to see characters like Knuckles or Shadow. And I think that works in the film's favor, because if the film dug deeper into the Sonic lore, it'd run the risk of alienating new audiences, kids, whoever else might be watching this movie. If they make a sequel, that'd be a better time to do something like that. Overall, I think the chemistry between Ben Schwartz's Sonic and James Marsden's Tom Wachowski is pretty good, and strangely deep at times. It's nice to see a version of Sonic with more than one emotion. So it really affects him when he realizes he's going to have to leave Earth as well, with threats like Dr. Robotnik out there. Eventually, Sonic makes the decision to stay, and encourages Tom and his wife Maddie not to move out of Green Hills if it's the place they feel most at home. If I could pull any message from this film, it'd be don't let life shit get in the way of your enjoyment of life. I'm sorry, I'm bad with words, but if you get what I'm saying, good. Hard to say who this film is made for, maybe kids, but I appreciate it as a fan nonetheless. Without a doubt, it's one of the better video game films out there, and personally I'd put it on a similar level to 2019's Detective Pikachu. Again, I really have to give it to the crew that reworked Sonic's design before the film's release. That was quite the undertaking. It's not often you see a studio go back to the drawing board to do good by the fans. I haven't gotten too much into the negatives here, but my list of complaints are pretty short. The lighting at some times seems a little off, the humor is kind of bland at times, but neither significantly affects this film's ability to function as a live-action Sonic the Hedgehog experience. especially if you're taking children to see this movie. I'm not sure how else a film like this could really work if you think about it. I think they did a fantastic job at putting it together, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. In conclusion to all that, I think this film absolutely works. Did you guys enjoy the movie if you saw it? Was there something you would have done differently? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. Well, until next time, thanks for listening to my opinion on a film about a blue anthropomorphic hedgehog. Catch you later.
I was not expecting that.